disturbed me a bit is when we see him and I go and offer obeisances and others also, he always offer obeisances back. And I feel this is not proper because he's such a senior devotee. So now what I do, most of the time, I see him from this, I offer this obeisance from a distance. So then I don't have to have the burden of taking of obeisances from such a senior devotee. So it's very humble like that and tolerant. When you travel, for example, he was coming from Sri Lanka, then to Middle East, very hot country, and ending up in Switzerland. He was there in the beginning of winter, and it was pretty cold. The temperature was going down to below 10 degrees. It was not full swing winter yet. So I asked him, I said, Maharaj, do you have enough warm clothing? He said, yeah, I have warm sweaters and warm jacket, because I thought maybe you don't have. He's traveling, and I thought I could get some warm clothing for him. But he was well taken care of. He was staying there in the apartment of a devotee, that Vaishnavi Seva, I think the name. That's someone who met him in Europe, but the husband got transferred to Geneva. So he was staying there for quite a few days. And no prestige, very low profile, always offering respect, didn't expect any respect in return. So this is a very, very good example that we can look up to and emulate of behavior of a real Vaishnava. Sometimes in the material world, if we are humble, it's considered to be something low. Like they use the word, oh, you come from a humble family. You come from a humble upbringing, which means very low, poor upbringing. So they don't realize in spiritual life, humility is a real wealth. It's a real strength. It's a real quality of a sadhu, a Vaishnava. You may not, that's why they say you don't see a sadhu. You can't see just by the experience and the external appearances. But you know the sadhu when they open them up. And Maharaj classes are always very simple, I would say. Simple, easy to understand, easy to follow, but yet very deep and very profound. Sometimes we gave classes trying to impress everyone with high-sounding words. And everyone's like trying to look intelligent, but not understanding anything. Then when they leave the class, it's just blur. But when you attend Maharaj class, you always have something away from it. Something that really strikes your heart and say, wow, okay, I can do this. And you go away with some understanding, some realization. And that's real intelligence. To present, because Krishna conscious philosophy is very deep. It can be very complex. And Rupa Goswami said that intelligence is when someone can take a very complex subject and present it in the simplest term. So when Maharaj speaks, it shows someone who has deeply understood the philosophy of Krishna consciousness and digested it and able to present the same philosophy in a very simple way, simple terms that everyone can understand. So these are some of the unique qualities of Maharaj that I appreciate. So thank you very much for giving the opportunity to take part in this celebration of Narasimha Maharaj Vyasa Puja. So you're all very fortunate to have taken shelter of him and to be serving under his guidance in Sri Prabhupada's ISKCON movement. So all I can say is, please dedicate, devote your life to following his instruction, following in his footsteps, and serve him to the best of your ability. Make his instruction, his mission, your life and soul. That will be the perfection of your life. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much to His Grace Sri Jiva Prabhu. Next, we call upon the temple co-president, His Grace Rasa Prayana Prabhu, to give his homages.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Krishna Prasad Srimati Jagataka Swami Dinami. Namo Vishnu Krishna Prasad Bhutare Srimati Bhakti Vikna Vinasha Narsimha Maharaj Swami Dinami. Hare Krishna. I had the opportunity to travel with Maharaj when he came first to Malaysia. So I was a brahmachari that time, so I was together, another two more devotees. We were traveling Malaysia, and we were mostly going to Johor, Melaka and these places. And my first-hand experience with Maharaj, when we were together, Maharaj, the morning program, Maharaj is always up at 4 o'clock. Always, never. Before I wake up, Maharaj is already waking up and taking his bath and he's already ready. And always we have the morning program. And all the program we have in the morning, everywhere we go, we have few centers we stay. And all the same, what we see here in the morning, everywhere, the same, wake up, we do our morning program, Mangala Arati, and after that, Bhagavatam class. We were like only 5 hours sitting. And exactly, and the Bhagavatam class is not that, you only see 5 people, but it's the same enthusiasm, same message, everything very clear and giving that strength. And then after that, Maharaj also followed, we did Sankirtan. And I remember at that time we had we were in Johor Bahru. So we had some issues, and we had one devotee who came there, and then he was in a challenging mood. At that time, this big philosophy was flying everywhere. So he was there, and then of course, Maharaj being a Srila Prabhupada disciple, so they were also there trying to talk to him, and then Maharaj very clearly refuted all their, whatever they tried to throw at Maharaj, everything. But of course, in this argument, I was seeing that I was also in between trying to cross that person. He was a bit aggressive, was looking aggressive. And suddenly Maharaj did one, which even I was shocked. Suddenly he just obeisance straight. That person also was being aggressive and trying to make through that his message was that we should follow his message. And Maharaj paid that, and Prabhu, this is what Prabhupada said, and he paid obeisance, and that person also was shocked, and he after that calmed down. And also he was accepting already, seeing how Maharaj, in that way, I learned also that the tolerance, in this kind of a situation, we have to be tolerant. And Maharaj was teaching us all. I learned a lot in that. And later on also when I traveled to Taiwan, Maharaj was there too. And he was doing such a wonderful, in Taiwan it's not easy to, Prabhupada said, Kasa days, they will be the last people to take up Krishna consciousness. And Maharaj has taken this responsibility on him. After Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj left this planet, he took wholly. It's not easy going to, especially in Taiwan, but in China, it's not so easy. So he was doing that, and then in Taiwan I see how Maharaj very nicely is. And till today he still never give up. And today, being the 77th year, having that enthusiasm when I saw him first in the 90s, Maharaj never, not even a little, has decreased. same enthusiasm, same morning program, same everything. We sometimes when we travel, we feel tired, we have body ache, this, we take time, but Maharaj with that enthusiasm, because all this, their desire to please Srila Prabhupada. They said we have only certain amount of time, let me go fully. Everywhere you can see him, everywhere I'm seeing him, his Facebook, I see Maharaj is constantly preaching, tirelessly, especially now in the Navadi Mandal Parikram, you can see Maharaj always there, giving lectures, going around, moving around the devotees. At 77, it's not easy to walk, every day. Maharaj is enthusiastically. So this is beyond, we have a spiritual energy coming through. So I'm very fortunate. So we try to follow in their footsteps. We may not be exactly, we can do, but whatever 10% we can follow, we try to follow. That same enthusiasm, how Srila Prabhupada, at this advanced age is still going, they are also still going. And they are also pulling us, sending examples, come, you can do it. So I take this opportunity to thank Maharaj for all he is doing, especially to me, whenever he comes in. I used to talk to him, get advice from him. So he gives good, he advised me. So I always pray that, that I always try to follow in footsteps. We cannot, we cannot exactly copy what they are doing, because his level of enthusiasm is very high. They are going beyond the body. We try our best to follow whatever instruction he gives. And in that way, we also try to fulfill our Parama Guru Srila Prabhupada desires to give this Krishna consciousness all over the world. And I take this opportunity today to thank all the devotees, especially the disciple of Bhakti Viknavina Narsingha Maharaj, for having this nice, wonderful glorification of Maharaj. So it's very wonderful. On behalf of the temple management, I like to thank all of you for doing such a wonderful thing. And glorifying Vaishnavas is part of our culture. It's part of ISKCON. So that is wonderfully been done. So thank you very much. And let us together push this movement, Srila Prabhupada's desire to have this whole world indulged with Krishna consciousness. So together with our senior God brothers, especially Srila Prabhupada disciple, together let us work together and push this movement more and more. So thank you very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Srila Bhakti Viknavina Narsingha Maharaj ki, Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Jai Gaurav Premanand.
Hare Krishna, thank you to His Grace Rasa Prayana Prabhu for his wonderful homages. So next, we call upon His Grace Marichi Prabhu, the advisor of TMC of Sri Jagannath Mandir.
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Viknavina Swami Siti Namini Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much. Thank you to give me the opportunity to glorify Maharaj today. I feel very blessed to be part of his 77-year anniversary. This is the same age of my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. This year also 77 years. This is an amazing event. Prabhupada disciples, such a wonderful gurus, they're getting younger. Every year they're getting younger. You see, this is amazing. One thing I would like to say today, that if there is anyone who is serious to be in Krishna consciousness and follow Srila Prabhupada, he will be feeling very, very comfortable under the guidance of His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Vinas Swami Maharaj, because he has this mood. Anyone who hears from him, you can feel Srila Prabhupada, all his instructions. I will not be long, but I will like to say something about the association I have with him in safari, in the spiritual safari. For many, many years, Maharaj is coming on safari, but I will tell you something, one thing. You see, whenever he comes on safari from the day one, I noticed one thing, no? He never portrayed himself just to say, oh, I am a guru, or I am a Prabhupada disciple, or a sannyasi. He behaved very humbly, very like a normal one, a normal person, normal devotee. He never portrayed himself to be, he is a great personality, but he never portrayed himself to be like this. He's extremely humble. And when sometimes, the spiritual safari could be very hard, even for young people. They're thinking, oh, where are I going to sleep? When everybody going thinking about the bus, about the train, about which prasada we're going to take. Maharaj, he will think, oh, Marichi Prabhu, he will say, what is the next holy place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? What is the next pastime? He will never be thinking in all this external thing. He will focus on the safaris, on the holy places, on the leelas. Like 1 month ago, I told him about the safari, Maharaj. I said, Maharaj, please, will you bless us with your association? So he replied so nice, so many things to me. But he said he was feeling sick because he just finished, I think, some tour in Saudi Arabia visiting Ahobela and other holy places, and he was feeling sick. By Krishna's mercy, now he's feeling better. This is one of the persons that I always pray for him. Always I pray for Maharaj, for his good health. So like this, I always have a very good association on safari with him, very much. And everyone like his classes. When you hear his classes, they are amazing, and he's very sharp. If you going to ask him for advice, you have to be ready to get the good advice. He will not entertain you with some sentimental answer like that. Like I think I mentioned last year, when I was in last year Vyasa Puja offering, during the COVID time I was having some problem with sleeping. So every day, because I cannot sleep, I would start walking 3:30 in the morning toward the Vaishnava Academy, and then Maharaj will come, and then we will do the Mongol Artik together. Sometimes will be 2 people only, just 2 of us. Just 2 of us. Sometimes will be 3. The Pujari will come, sometimes the Pujari will not come, so he will do the Artik. We will take turns. He will tell me, what you want? You want to chant or you want to do the Puja? Then, like this. And then he will ask me, how are you today? Like this. He will be very concerned. He's always very concerned of devotees, very concerned. So one time I asked for not an advice, but I said to Maharaj, yes, Maharaj, the doctors told me that because I have this problem, I cannot sleep. Maybe someone told me I should talk to a psychologist. So Maharaj said, you don't need a psychologist, he said. You need to read Prabhupada books and you need to preach. Yes, you are a good preacher, You read, you study Prabhupada books and preach, and your insomnia, your sleeping problem will disappear, he said. He replied very direct like this. Can't forget this introduction. So he's very sweet. Even when he says things very hard, like this, very sharp, he's also very sweet. You can feel his heart. He's full of compassion. He wants to give the best to us. So thank you, Jai, His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Vinas Narasimha Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you to His Grace Marichi Prabhu for his wonderful homages. So next we call upon one of the senior disciple of Maharaj, His Grace Sudarshan Prabhu, to give his homages.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vigna Vinasha Narasimha Dinami. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinami. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayani Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshikarani Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bhagum Mandayati Kiram Yat Kripat Mahamandi Sri Guru Dinatari Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. So, just read my offering. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble and respectful obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Guru Maharaj, and all glories to Guru and Gauranga. So for your Vyasa Puja this year, please allow me to glorify you, Guru Maharaj, for my own purification. Your glories should be sung throughout the three worlds. I am very excited this year because I came across a verse which I feel describes you so perfectly. So I'd like to share that. Srila Guru Maharaj, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 23:18 to 19, those verses, it says that when the seed of ecstatic love for Krishna fructifies, the following 9 symptoms manifest in one's character and conduct. Because it's very important for us to know whether we are advancing in our spiritual life. And throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many hints, and in fact more than hints, direct clear descriptions are mentioned about how we can gauge ourselves whether we make advancement in our spiritual life. So, and I came across this one, and it just struck me that without even thinking, I could map each of these 9 qualities to you straight away. So I immediately shared that verse to the disciple groups, and I thought I would just speak about that this year. Because otherwise, if I don't read, then I usually get emotional, and that's not good. So the first quality is Shanti, Kshanti, or forgiveness. So it's interesting how that is the first point which was noted in Chaitanya Charitamrita about the symptoms of one who has bhava and ecstatic symptoms. So in that case, of course, being a disciple, you have forgiven us for so many transgressors towards you and so many mistakes that we have done in our service towards you. Over the years, you have very silently tolerated all the mistakes, and sometimes you have, after much thinking, you have corrected us. So we note that, how careful you are to not so quickly just correct people just like that, to take into consideration the surrenderedness of that person, or to see to what extent you're able to take that chastisement. So you really think before you speak. So, and in this case, forgiveness, you are the well-wisher of all. I see that very much in so many people who approach you. You are like Ajata Shatru. Yudhishthira Maharaj is famous as being Ajata Shatru. But and in that way, you harbor no enmity towards anyone. So even when others show disrespect towards you, or they even blaspheme you, but still, when I speak to you, I notice that you only desire their welfare. You don't feel, there's nothing from you in terms of retaliation. There is nothing from you in terms of anything. You only think of what is best for that person. So even at your own cost, you are willing to do things for that person. So definitely forgiveness is one of the main points. Another point is, another symptom which is mentioned is avyartha kalatvam, concern that time should not be wasted. Oh, definitely I see this in you. You do not waste a single moment. Whenever you are traveling, even when you are traveling, when the bus is bumpy, and I see you studying your books, even in the bumpy bus, and because you just want, and I know you have classes to give every day, so you really take so much of effort and time to prepare for your classes. You don't believe in just walking in and just giving classes just like that. You take the trouble to prepare, and I take this so much to heart, that someone like you, after 50 years of being in the movement, you can still do so much to take your time. This is definitely something I have to learn. And you don't waste time at all. Every single moment is something for you to do. Most of the time you're just chanting. Even if you finish your rounds, I see you just chanting very slowly, relishing the name, and it just goes on. Even when I'm traveling with you outstation, throughout the trip, you don't talk, you just chant, unless there's something important to say. And if there's nothing to chant, you just start singing. One of your favorite songs is the Sat Goswami Astaka. You always sing that whenever you're traveling in the car. And of course, you also sing many other songs, which I cannot name them. So it escapes my mind at the moment. And third point is, this point. Your very life is a living testament to this quality. Your daily schedule is wholly dedicated to Srila Prabhupada's mission. You wake up so early, no matter what time you sleep at night, you still wake up and you dedicate it fully to his service. And even at this age, you don't give excuses for yourself. In fact, I see you pushing yourself further and further. You have mentioned many times that you want to leave the body in the battlefield. So I can see that you are really pushing it. And this is solely for the benefit of the devotees. You're trying to set an example for everyone to follow. Third point, third symptom is virakti or detachment. So in my observation, you're among the most detached personalities I have ever witnessed. At least in my estimation. Of course, every Srila Prabhupada's disciple, it has different aspects of detachment. But I do not know some of them a lot. So, but you, I do know to some extent. So yes, you're very, very detached. You don't even take medicines for your ailments. You just, and when we asked you to take medicines, you say, chanting Hare Krishna is the medicine. And you will chant the Hare Krishna to the medicine. Even when we force you with a very grouchy face, you will, just to please us, you will take that medicine. But before you take the medicine, you will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that is but generally you don't. And so anyway, that's how you are. Though both simple daily actions and major matters, you constantly demonstrate that Krishna is fully in control, that not a blade of grass moves without his sanction. And that and you show that you are completely dependent upon him alone for all our examples. So you're showing by your bodily examples how we should just surrender, right? Yes, everything is there, but if we keep giving excuses for everything, then when will we ever surrender to the Lord? So then the fourth point, absence of false prestige, mana sunyata. So your humility, just like how Marichi Prabhu also mentioned, right? Guru Maharaj, you don't take any honor for yourself. In fact, you avoid honor and recognition like the plague. You literally avoid, like how people used to be in COVID times, don't social distancing. So you keep a social distance to anything that has to do with honor and prestige. So, and even in your Vyasa Puja offerings to your own spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, you demean yourself to such a level, and you say that you just, doing some small things here and there at the far end of your life. So in this way, you are, showing us again the example of avoiding false prestige despite your exalted position, learning and service. So then the fifth principle is Asha Bandha, or hope. So once again, I see this. You put yourself in a very low level, and in your Vyasa Puja offerings to Srila Prabhupada, I can see that you're constantly hopeful that Prabhupada will give his mercy to you. And you constantly push yourself with the hope that Prabhupada will give his mercy to you. You who have done so much for 50 years of your life, ever since the age of 20, right after your graduation, within 6 months, you gave up your job and you joined the temple and you gave up everything. And yet, and you've been doing this for 50 years, and yet you are thinking that you do not have any qualification to receive Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So this is definitely mentioned in Nectar of Devotion as one of the symptoms of those who are ecstatic. And I can see when you give your classes, you've been narrating Brihad Bhagavatamrita to the Chinese devotees, and I've been listening to those classes. And your Srimad Bhagavatam classes to the Russian devotees, they are very, very nectarian. So disciples, if you are hearing, definitely please hear the Russian lectures and also the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. It's very, very, very sweet, and we can see your quality of hope. How you feel like, please give me that blessing, Krishna. So you voice that out in your lectures. So it's very tangible to hear this quality in your voice, and I hear these lectures, Guru Maharaj. And your sixth principle is samudkanta, or eagerness. Your mood of service to ISKCON and the devotees carried out with the same vigor as ever, in fact more vigor in your older age, together with your enthusiasm. In fact, you're taking up more and more classes. Every day you're doing at least 3 to 4 classes. I don't know how you do it. I give lecture in my university, and my voice, at the end of my lecture, I feel like half my soul went off. So even, and you are just speaking 3 times. I give 1 day lecture, and it's like, I don't know how you do it, Guru Maharaj, at your age. So you're continuously eager to do this. You take up all the services in MIHE to continuously give lectures on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I want to tell you that I really, really appreciate it. Every day, it is what keeps us grounded, hearing your voice. Not because of anything, because I feel that you are exactly mirroring whatever Srila Prabhupada has spoken. It's like how the Bhagavatam gone through the mouth of Sukadev Goswami, coming from Krishna to Vyasadev, from Vyasadev to Sukadev Goswami, it becomes even more sweeter, even more relishable. So the same message of Srila Prabhupada, from the Bhagavatam, from the Gita, from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, when you repeat Srila Prabhupada's mood, and when you give the same message coming through your lotus mouth, it is so much more relishable, relatable, and I can really understand what you're saying, or at least I think I do. Still, I have a long way to go. So the seventh principle is Namagane Sadaruchi, taste for chanting the holy name. Oh dear, definitely every disciple who even know you a little will definitely know that you enjoy chanting the holy name. The whole day you're just chanting the holy name. You have nothing to do, you're chanting the holy name. And you do your rounds at such a slow pace. I can see that you're practically relishing each word, each name. So, and I've heard so much from others also in this aspect. There is no doubt whatsoever in this regard. Who else can chant so long and continuously for so many years and tell everybody the same thing? When somebody tells you, I don't have taste in chanting the holy name, Guru Maharaj, what should I do? So many times this question has been put forward to you, and your answer has been consistently the same all the time. You keep saying, chant more. That's what you keep saying. I think many of my disciple God sisters and God brothers will say the same. His faith is so strong. Chant more. And he gives the same example. My Guru Maharaj actually had jaundice when he was in Vrindavan in 1970 something. It was a very hot summer. He developed jaundice, and the person there told, I heard that sugarcane is the what do you call the medicine for jaundice. And he drank sugarcane, and he told that it tasted like petrol. So when you have jaundice, I don't know, we just hear this, but practically he has experienced it, and he said it tastes like petrol. So, and yet that is the medicine. So as he drank it, then the sweetness of the taste of the sugarcane was coming out. So, and the same thing he's saying is the chanting of the holy name. The more you taste, the more you chant, Krishna will see how much endeavor that you're putting. And just like the little pigeon who wanted to drain the ocean, in the same way, the Lord will open that honey bottle of the nectarian holy name, and he will give it to you. Just simply seeing your eagerness. So I see that a lot in you, Guru Maharaj. And the eighth principle is attachment to description of the Lord's transcendental qualities. Ashakti Tat Gunakyane. I directly see and hear this in your lectures and pilgrimage visits. You are so attached to the places of pilgrimage. You call your Mayapur also, most of the time you spend in Mayapur, right? And I see that you really love being in Mayapur. And not only being there, you love serving Mayapur. Every year you go for the parikram, and I can see you are like a different body. In every other country, we see a different version of you. But in Mayapur, we see you so alive. In all the different parikrams, you are running with the devotees, you are jumping and chanting, you are relishing the pastimes. But when you speak about the pastimes, it's like as if you developed so many heads and so many tongues. It is really very blissful, and I've had a few occasions where I've been with you in parikram, and it's very enlivening. You stay there in the site. I can't stay there in the site, but somehow you stay there in the site. And you know, it's amazing. So yeah, your love for the Holy Dham and for Chaitanya Leela is felt, heard and relished in your narrations. And the last principle, which is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Pritis Tat Vashati Stale, affection for the holy places of the Lord pastimes. Oh, is that what I said? No, just now was the description of the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So this is the attachment for the holy places of the Lord. So I've mixed the two together. All right, so yeah, and I've been fortunate to travel with you, Ahobilam, Mayapur, Narsinga Safari, to Vrindavan Safari, and also recently in South India, Divya Desham Yatra, and it was very, very blissful to see you and you relishing. It's one thing to go to the places, but it's so much more relishable when you're with another person and you see that person relishing the place so much. So it's like magnetic, the attraction. You just feel the effect. So anyway, yes. So by Srila Prabhupada's causeless mercy, all of these symptoms are unmistakably present in you, Guru Maharaj. And I have only touched a drop in describing each quality. Any sincere and most fortunate soul can fully surrender to your lotus feet, dedicate their life to your service, and thus make their human existence a complete success. I, however, am most unfortunate. Although I perceive these exalted qualities in you and am counted as your disciple only by your mercy, my heart remains hard like a stone. So covered by illusion, I have not yet fully surrendered to your seva. Still, I deeply cherish your association, your instruction, your kindness, your merciful glances, the small services you graciously accept from me, and your heart, which you hardly do nowadays. But still, I try to find some ways to serve you. And your heartfelt well wishes. I hold firm hope that one day I may become worthy to be called your humble disciple. I count myself most fortunate to be in some small way associated with you, Srila Guru Maharaj. Happy 77th Vyasa Puja, Srila Guru Maharaj. Your insignificant servant, Sudarshan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you to His Grace Sudarshan Prabhu for his wonderful homages. Next, we call upon Her Grace Shanti Rupa Mataji to give her homages.
Namaha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamit Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane. Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauravakta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachanam, Pangur Nangayate Girim, Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurudina Tarinam, Paramanandam Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namah. Hare Krishna, everybody. So today is the most auspicious day of the appearance of His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Vinasha Narasimha Maharaj. And unqualified as I feel to stand here to glorify him, but I can also realize that I am extremely fortunate to speak a few words in glorification of such a powerful, fearless, humble, and a person who has been very exemplary example for anyone to follow. So Srila Prabhupada actually taught us that advancement in spiritual life, in devotional life to be more specific, is possible only by the mercy of the pure devotee. And I also remember and recollect, I think in one of the lectures by His Holiness Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, he said that Vaishnava Acharyas are specially merciful on their appearance day. Special mercy flows from them on their appearance day. So it is very important that all of us take advantage of this special mercy on their appearance day. So Maharaj is one such very special devotee, one such person comes in the lineage of Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And having come in that parampara, actually Maharaj lives and breathes Srila Prabhupada's teachings, especially his uncompromising emphasis on Guru Tattva and pure bhakti. That's why many a times we see him doing the ISKCON disciple course. In fact, in SJMKL, he was the first one to do the ISKCON disciple course. And we all attended that course for the first time. And he also gave us a gift, each one of us a small gift which still hangs in my car. You know, one side Narshikadev, another side Srila Prabhupada. You know, very sweet of Maharaj, because he always likes to reciprocate lovingly, you know, with not only his disciples, with all the devotees. Maharaj is also renowned throughout ISKCON and the wider Vaishnava community for his, as everybody mentioned who spoke earlier, his fearless preaching, you know. Because many a times Maharaj, just like what Chiranjeev Prabhu mentioned, he is very straightforward, simple, straightforward. He doesn't mince his advice, he just gives it to you, whether you like it or not. Sometimes we are, you know, we see that the person may not receive our advice, so we will be, you know, very soft, trying to somehow please the person. But Maharaj is not like that. He's very, very straightforward in giving advice. So, and he does not, one thing that Maharaj never tolerates is deviation from the truth. So he sticks to it. You can see it in all his lectures, and during his parikrama he is so exemplary, like everybody said. It, you know, the saying of simple living and high thinking. He is such an exemplary example. You know, many a times when we are associating with him in SJMKL, one thing very particularly, I think I would have said this many times during the offering, Vyasa Puja offering, but it's worthwhile repeating. One is, just like everybody said, he will pay obeisances to you even before we pay obeisances to him. You know? Number two is, he was here during Janmashtami time. I think it was during the year about 10 years ago when we installed the deities in Todu, and a whole lot of sannyasis were here. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami and many sannyasis were here. We were having a problem to accommodate everybody close to the temple. So I told Maharaj, I'll make arrangements for you to please go and stay in one of your disciples' house. Maharaj just freaked out. He said, what do you want me to go there and do? He said, I was just speaking to him outside that veranda, which goes to the temple president's room. I'm standing outside there, we are both having a conversation. And Maharaj said, what is your problem, he asked me. I said, Maharaj, accommodation is a problem, the rooms are all occupied. So he said, don't worry, I'll sleep there, that pathway. All you have to give me is a pillow and a mat. And then I just looked very blankly at him like that. He said, you can't get a pillow. Now no pillow also okay. I'll just sleep there. Don't worry about me. Then of course we can't do that to Maharaj, and we somehow made arrangements for him to stay opposite the temple, and he was happy about it as well. So this is Maharaj, very straightforward and very simple at heart. Even the first time I saw him in Thaipusam, we were having, there used to be what is called Kalbi Yatra those days. All the Indian students will come and pray to Lord Murugan to do well in their exams. So we used to do the prasada part of it, food for life part for all of them. So we are cooking and the place is extremely dirty. We are constantly cooking, no time to clean the place. So all the vegetable wastes are thrown around. It's soggy because we're washing the rice and just throwing it there. The whole place was so soggy. And then at a distance, I saw someone with an orange robe, clearing up the places, clearing up all the rubbish and coming. And then he came to the cooking place. He really, I tell you, for about an hour or so, he took time and he cleared everything. I was wondering, who is this person? Never seen him before. And then I called the temple president. I said, this person, Prabhu, look at the kind of service he's doing, Who is this Prabhu? I asked him. This brahmachari, I told him. I asked the temple, who is this brahmachari, Prabhu? He said, na brahmachari, Maharaj. I was shocked, Of course, the same thing we did to Banu Maharaj also. Banu Maharaj in the early days, when he was the first temple president after some problems here, he will be washing the drain and we will be standing and looking. He will wash the plates which we have eaten from during a Sunday feast and we will just be talking. So, like that, Maharaj also, so humble all these people have been. It's really very touching. It really moves us when we think of the sacrifices that all of them have made, not only in Malaysia but throughout the world for ISKCON to actually cherish, to actually grow. So we should always be thankful to them for all these genuine efforts that they are putting, and they are actually a guiding light for all of us. And people who know him personally, we can experience, like everybody told this, even in their previous talks. He has deep compassion, very humble, very genuine concern, about the spiritual welfare of each and everybody. I know one Mataji, she is from the north, but now she is settled here. she actually received so much of guidance from him. Actually, none of us could guide her properly. She was always disturbed. She was not steady, that kind of thing. But Maharaj gave her so much of time, guided her so nicely, and she actually, it was not even Maharaj's disciple, but he spent so much time, and she is, till today, she has expressed to me that she owes so much to Maharaj and she is ever grateful. That gratitude she will never ever forget. All her life she will be grateful to Maharaj. So that kind of genuine advice and concern Maharaj gives to everyone who needs it. And one of Maharaj's greatest contribution is his clear presentation of Vaishnava Siddhanta. Actually, in this age of confusion, compromise, dilution of the philosophy, Maharaj boldly reminds us of Srila Prabhupada's original mood and mission. As it is, just like Bhagavad Gita, as it is, he just tells everything as it is, So, he teaches us that loyalty to the spiritual master is not sentimental, but is expressed through strict adherence to his instructions. Maharaj also exemplifies dependence on the holy name. Just now, Sudarshan Prabhu was giving so many examples of that. He chants, and even when he finishes his rounds, how he continues, and it is, we've all seen it. We have been with him last year, or the year before, I think, in the Vrindavan Parikram. So much of austerity. He will walk without slippers in that hot sun, all going around Govardhan. He got lost somehow, and then, all of us got lost. Many of us got lost in the Vrindavan Parikram. We took extra time to come and reach our place, but still, Maharaj just went, it was so hot. He was just like this, walking like this, it was so hot. And then when he reached, we realized that his both the feet were blistered. We didn't even have enough plaster to put on the blisters. That way, every part of his feet, we were shocked to see that. So, this is how austere Maharaj is. So, his intense attachment to chanting and hearing inspires us to take our sadhanas very seriously. Another striking quality of Maharaj is his integrity, whether appreciated or opposed. I think Marichi Prabhu was, Rasaprayana Prabhu was just relating to us, even when he was opposed, what he did, he just prayed obeisance, straight dandavats, to that person. So, Maharaj is really, we have to learn all these qualities from Maharaj, and he can be as gentle as a rose, or he can be very, very, very powerful as a thunderbolt. So Maharaj is, when it's necessary to be gentle, he is gentle. When it's necessary to be like a thunderbolt, he just bangs you. So, and I remember once he finished this disciple course for the second time, and then we met in that same corridor, Temple President's corridor. Okay, let's name it that. And then he told me, I wanted to speak to you. I said, yes, Maharaj, anything? Then he said, you have to take this ISKCON disciple course in Tamil. I said, Maharaj, I'm not a trained teacher. I didn't do this TT1, TT2, nothing. I've not done anything. So I'm not qualified. You cannot take that course without all these qualifications. Who said you're not qualified? And he gave me one big lecture and asked me to do it in Tamil. I'll send you all the material. I have everything. I'll send you everything. You do it in Tamil. But till today, I'm sorry, Maharaj, I have not had the guts to do it because I don't have the teacher's training course. I'm not qualified. So let us conclude. There are many speakers more. On this auspicious day, on behalf of the Temple Management Council, I would like to thank all the disciples for their wonderful service. He has given us wonderful disciples who are almost in every department. You name it, the Alankar department, the Pujari department, deity dressing department, flower department. You You just name cooking in the general kitchen, any department, they are there. They are there and they are really doing such great service to Sri Jagannath Mandir Kuala Lumpur. We are ever grateful for their service. We take this opportunity to thank all of them for their wonderful service to Sri Jagannath Mandir Kuala Lumpur. And on this auspicious day, we also beg for forgiveness from Maharaj for any mistakes during his frequent visits here that we may have committed knowingly or unknowingly. Maharaj, please forgive us. Also, we would like to beg for Maharaj's mercy to give us just a fraction of the dedication that he has for Srila Prabhupada, so that we may also follow him to please Srila Prabhupada. And lastly, we would like to pray to the deities Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Sri Sri Datai Sundar Gaurahari, Sri Sri Radha Gokulananda, Govardhan Sheela, Shaligram Sheela, Narsinghadev and the Guru Parampara to shower their mercy and blessings upon Maharaj, so that he will stay on for many, many more years, living a healthy and long life, just to inspire all of us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you to Her Grace Shanti Rupa Mataji for her wonderful homages. Next, we call upon Her Grace Surya Nandini Mataji to give her homages.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Name. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutale Srimati Swami Bhakti Vigna Vinasa Narishima Swami Maharaj Iti Name. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Happy Vyasa Puja. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. On this most auspicious occasion of your divine appearance day, I offer my humble obeisance at the dust of your lotus feet. Today it is a celebration of the compassion, wisdom and spiritual strength that you selflessly shower upon me. Please forgive me for all my offenses, Guru Maharaj. Through your guidance, we are reminded of Lord Krishna's instruction. You have shown us how to transform ordinary duties into devotional service, how to act in this world while remaining firmly anchored in Krishna consciousness. Please give me the spiritual strength to carry out your instructions faithfully as I am on my journey in completing my Bhakti Sakshit course. Guru Maharaj, I'm blessed to be your disciple. On this sacred day, I pray for your long life, good health and continued strength to guide countless souls towards the path of devotion. May Lord Krishna bestow upon you his special mercy, and may we always strive to serve Prabhupada's mission with sincerity, unity and gratitude. My prayers to Lord Narasimha, Sri Radha Madhava, Lord Gauranga to kindly protect you always and keep you in good health. Utmost grateful gratitude for my family, your humble servant, Surya Nandini Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you to Her Grace Surya Nandini Mataji. So next, we call upon Her Grace Kasturi Krishna Mataji to give her homages.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisance, everyone. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vigna Vinashana Srimade Bhakti. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, dear spiritual master, Guru Maharaj. Dear Guru Maharaj, on this sacred day of your Vyasa Puja, I bow down at your lotus feet remembering the words of Srimad Bhagavatam 11:17-27. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. You embody this truth, Guru Maharaj, whereby your life is a living commentary on the teachings of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara. Your tireless preaching is like Narada Muni, where you travel across the world carrying the holy names and the message of Lord Chaitanya. Your determination reminds me of Bhagavad Gita 9:14, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination. Bowing down before me, they worship me with devotion. Guru Maharaj, your uncompromising stance on Siddhartha reminds me of Bhagavatam declaration, Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. Real Dharma is given by the Lord Himself. You never allow dilution or deviation, and in this way you protect us, just as the sage who remains unmoved amidst waves of desire as described in Bhagavad Gita 2:70. However, Guru Maharaj, your sternness is not harshness, but mercy, ensuring that we remain aligned with the eternal principles of bhakti. Yet, in the details of daily practice, you show compassion and understanding, guiding disciples according to their capacity. This balance of firmness and kindness reflects the mood of all compassionate acharyas, especially Srila Prabhupada. You are simultaneously a lion in protecting Siddhanta and a gentle father in nurturing the students. Guru Maharaj, I am small, weak, and easily distracted. My chanting lacks purity, my service lacks steadiness, and my heart is filled with worldly desires. Without your association, I am lost. Your sternness protects me from compromise, and your kindness gives me hope to continue despite my failures. Please keep me close to your instructions, for only by your mercy can I remain on this path. I pray that you never let me go, even when I forget myself. On this day, I pray for the strength to serve you with sincerity, to chant with more attention, and to carry forward even a fraction of your preaching spirit. May I always remember that your pleasure is my only success, and your shelter is my only hope. Your esteemed child, Kasturi Krishna Devi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you to Her Grace Kasturi Krishna Mataji. So the number of homages is increasing by getting the inspiration from the devotees. However, we are in the time constraint. Therefore, we will proceed to the next part of the program, which is Pushpa Anjali. Finally, thank you to all the devotees. It is very wonderful to see all the wonderful homages. It is mentioned in the scripture that the topmost worship is the worship of Lord Vishnu. But among the topmost worship is the worship of Lord Vishnu, the topmost. But the most important from that is actually worshipping of the devotee of the Lord Vishnu. This is the conversation of Lord Shiva to Mother Parvati. In this very auspicious, it is very inspiring to see all the devotees glorify the pure Vaishnava. Therefore, our heartfelt gratitude and thanks to all the Vaishnavas devotees for their homages. So next we move forward to the next program, which is Pushpanjali. So kindly we request to all the devotees to stand up, prepare yourself. We call upon His Grace Sudarshan Prabhu. Yes, please roll the mat.
श्री वासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा